are still the same. And what has this been causing to Malaysia? What has all this been causing to Malaysia? One thing alluded to it just now. Our debts has been increasing. In 2006, federal government debt was 242 billion. In 2011, just 5 years later, it has nearly doubled to 456 billion ringgit. In percentage terms, it has increased from 46% of our GDP to 53.8% of our GDP. 53.8% to be frank. And there are many economists here who will agree with me. It's a bit on the high side, but actually still much okay lah. Still boleh tahan lah. But let me tell you, this 53.8% that the government is talking about is all bullshit. A bit rough, but it's all bullshit. Because our government indulges in creative accounting. How do they do it? I hope I won't bore you to death. But I will try to explain the way they creatively adjust and manage our accounts to make it look good on the surface but rotten on the inside. How is that? They say we only borrow 53.8% of our GDP. But in actual fact, they borrow a lot more. They know they cannot borrow much more. So what to do? I'm federal government. I cannot borrow anymore. What can I do? Why do I do it this way? I create a company. Let that company go and borrow instead of I borrow. That company go and borrow 10 billion ringgit, let's say. How are they going to borrow? This one empty shell. Government guarantee lah. I give guarantee 10 billion ringgit to build 79 police stations, for example. I want to build police station, that is a government responsibility. But they give this contract 10 billion ringgit to this subsidiary company. Subsidiary company borrow from bank 10 billion ringgit, guaranteed by government. To build the headquarters first, the police headquarters first, then after that, lease it back to the government. Technically, the government has borrowed an additional 10 billion ringgit. But in our books, tada. Why? Because this is off the balance sheet. So for those who ask how Greece become bankrupt or nearly bankrupt, how the euro crisis started, this is the term to learn. Off balance sheet. Keep your loans off your official books. Hide it behind so that nobody can see, and I continue to look good, people continue to lend money to me. But all these debts are hidden. And all these hidden debts that are guaranteed by government, it's not 10 billion, it's not 20 billion, it's not 50 billion. It has increased to 97 billion ringgit as at the end of 2010. If you add this 97 billion ringgit to our existing debt of 456 billion ringgit, then our debt to GDP is already 65%. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is beginning to reach the very risky target. Very risky target when everyone starts looking whether your government will go bankrupt. And not only that, are we stopping? We are building the MRT. How much is the MRT? 53 billion ringgit. Even the Sungai Buloh Kajang route alone will cost 20 billion ringgit at least. But in our budget presented in Parliament last year, we approved in Parliament, we debated, we talked about government expenditure, we talked about government debt, but in the whole budget presentation by the government for 2012, not a single line item on the MRT. Not a single line item on the MRT. 20 billion ringgit not in the budget. So what happens? It means whatever we approve didn't include the MRT. What they did is they created a new company called MRT Co. MRT Co via Dana Infra will raise the money, and that again will be off balance sheet. At least another 20-30 billion ringgit off balance sheet. So the government tells you, hey, our budget very healthy. You know, deficit only 5.5% only. Very healthy, very safe, 5.5 only. But if you add in all these other expenditure, which are in effect government expenditure, then our deficit will easily be reaching 7%, 8%, or even 9%. And that is where, ladies and gentlemen, if we are not careful, if we don't have people looking into all these shenanigans by the government, to hoodwink the people, to lie to the people, then, ladies and gentlemen, Idris Jala's prediction that we may become bankrupt in 2019 will eventually come true. I don't know why when I say you want to go bankrupt, you all clap your hands. A lot of people are also telling me, if this election 2012 you all don't change by the time come the 14th January election in 2016, 2017 you all going also no use really, no more money. So that time will be how to rescue Malaysia from bankruptcy. Ladies and gentlemen, nowadays, you know, when I get calls, little birds calling me, telling me, hey, I got corruption story to tell you, information to tell you. First thing I ask, how much? How much is the corruption? The corruption, is it 100 ringgit? Is it 10 million ringgit? Is it 100 million ringgit? Or is it 1 billion ringgit? Anything less than 1 billion, I don't entertain. I already so busy dealing with all the billion ringgit scandals. You want me to deal with the hundreds of millions ringgit? Bosika, cannot. My wife will kill me. But that is how bad it has become. In the past, the biggest scandal we heard of was the BNF scandal. How much was that? 2.4 billion ringgit. Nowadays, every scandal is above 1 billion ringgit. Top 10 free zone, 12.5 billion ringgit. And I'll just give one more example. I know everyone is tired, but if you want to hear stories, I'll give one or two more stories. The Kuala Lumpur International Airport. How our money is just burnt like that. Kuala Lumpur International Airport in 1990s, like it or not, it's a mega project, but it was very well planned. The architects were from Japan, they know where can build airport, where cannot build airport. They have designed for KLIA to be expanded double to cope with additional traffic. So when Malaysia, the Transport Ministry or NAB, Malaysia Airport Berhad, wanted to build a new low-cost airport because the current LCCT tak boleh pakai lagi, too crowded. They need a new airport and we support. We need a new low-cost airport. Instead of building where the master plan in 1992 specified this piece of land, KLIA North is the perfect place to expand. That's what is stated in the master plan. Because the soil is good, you don't have to do anything much, you just need to flatten the soil and you can build your airport. The master plan also said, never ever build your airport in KLIA West because it's swamp, it's big swamp. You build there, it will sink. It will sink. So it's very costly to build on KLIA West. But our KLIA Malaysian Airport Berhad, they had better ideas. If I build the new airport in KLIA North, it will cost 1.7 billion ringgit. That was announced in 2007. In 2008, they decided to shift the airport from KLIA North to KLIA West, exactly where the previous master plan tells you do not build at KLIA West. Why did they do that? Because when they build it on KLIA West, you need to dig out the swamp, and below that is sand. You need to put in soil. Not only you need to level the soil, you need to put in soil above ground level by 4 feet and wait for it to settle. You know, you take the LCCT road, sometimes your car go like this one. No. Your car can go like that, but aeroplanes cannot go like that one. So the soil must settle. Earthworks alone for KLIA 2. Earthworks, not even constructing anything. Earthworks only 1.2 billion ringgit. Earthworks only. Then what happened? After they build this new place, we have 2 runways at the moment. Because they move it to the west, this airport can only share 1 runway. So even though Heathrow Airport, Changi Airport, Hong Kong Airport today much busier than KLIA, they have only 2 runways. Malaysia, because they have to build it on KLIA West, they have to build a new runway for 270 million ringgit. 3 runways in Malaysia. That's 270 million ringgit. The best bit is what? After they move the airport, you know when you go KLIA, I'm not asking KLIA, you see a tower, control tower, right? Control tower, right? They realize after shifting the airport, the control tower people on top there cannot see the aeroplane at the KLIA West. Control towers. Malaysia boleh. Is that right? This is Malaysia boleh. So total increase in cost, the airport increased from 1.7 billion ringgit to now 3.9 billion ringgit. And insiders tell me you must be kidding if they can complete it within 3.9 billion ringgit. So we will be expecting the scandal to grow and grow and grow. This is KLIA. And when the government tells you they want to improve the lives of the people, they don't tell you they abolish monopolies. They don't tell you they open tenders so that tolls can be reduced. They don't tell you they put competition for rice so that rice prices can fall. They don't tell you they reduce import taxes so that the car prices can fall. What they tell you? I will help the people in the budget. I will help the people by setting up Kedai Rakyat Satu Malaysia. Kedai Rakyat, there's one in Jaya, you don't know, right? One in Jaya, you can go visit. Buy or not, I leave it to you lah. You can go visit in Jaya. They say the product in there, top quality one. Very good quality, cheapest prices. You look at the website, they tell you 30% to 50% cheaper than anywhere else. At first I ignore lah, okay lah, you sell cheap stuff, good for the people lah, I don't care lah, okay? But then people start complaining to me, actually the prices there are not much different from Carrefour or Tesco. Really ah. So I go Carrefour and Tesco and shop no? I shop together with Pizza. Quite fun lah, but they give you powder together. You get the wrong ideas. Go and shop in Carrefour and Tesco, go and shop in Kedai Rakyat Satu Malaysia, compare the prices, some are cheaper lah. But not by 30-50%, by 2-3%, at most 5%. But there are also a lot of things cheaper in Carrefour and Tesco. So by and large, on average, depending on what you buy, about the same lah. But what's the difference? Carrefour and Tesco don't get any grant from the government. Kedai Rakyat Satu Malaysia get 40 million grants and subsidies from the government. And yet their prices are the same. The minister, the boss of Maidin, Amir Maidin, very angry. Came up with press conference saying Tony Fong talk rubbish. How can you compare my Satu Malaysia products with Carrefour branded and Tesco branded products? You want to compare, you must compare the top brands. My dishwashing liquid is compared to what's the top dishwashing liquid? Sunlight. Or my what do you call it? Laundry detergent is compared to Dynamo. How can you compare with Carrefour? Okay, really okay, let's do a test I go Kedai Rakyat Satu Malaysia, I buy Kedai Rakyat the Satu Malaysia oyster sauce. And what is your favorite oyster sauce? I don't know Li Gang Ki the best Li Gang Ki, I bought Li Gang Ki. I also bought Tesco just in case. But I don't talk about taste I just look at ingredients. I look at ingredients of Li Gang Ki. What is the oyster sauce made of? Oyster extract. I look at Tesco oyster sauce. What is the oyster sauce made of? Look at ingredient, oyster extract. I look at the One Malaysia oyster sauce. What is it made of? Oyster flavor. Macam ini pun boleh Was I comparing apple to apple This is apple to rotten apple, man. And they label it as oyster sauce. And believe it or not, we actually have a law on oyster sauce. And they broke the law. You cannot call anything oyster sauce unless it is made of real oyster. And this one, oyster flavor. You can have oyster flavored sauce, but you must call it oyster flavored sauce. You cannot call it oyster sauce. Itu tipu rakyat. You know, but even oyster flavored sauce also got law. Oyster flavored sauce also got law. And the oyster flavored 1.8% protein. 1.8% protein in oyster flavored sauce. This time I send it to the lab. I don't send it to one lab, I send it to 2 labs in case they criticize me. Very expensive, that's what your money will be used for. That's oyster sauce. Results come back. Not 1.8%, not 1%, 0.6%. And I asked the expert, food expert, what does this mean? It's not enough protein. It means it is just flavor and starch in the oyster flavored sauce. That's oyster flavored sauce only. Then after that you have ice cream. Website advertise ice cream cheaper by 30%. 1 ringgit 99 cents for 1 liter. Very cheap. No other place can get so cheap ice cream. That one I compare with it really. So I take the ice cream, I send it to the lab and test again because ice cream also got law. Ice cream law says minimum must be 10% fats. Because must have milk fat there, must have fats. 10% fat, then you can call ice cream. Result come back, don't have 10%, only 5%. So for ice, not enough cream. You are wrong. This is not ice cream. It's not ice cream level. This is ice confection. Ice confection got law. Ice confection got no law. So I can sell anything I want. But I showed the minister. Minister criticized me. So this is ice confection, okay what? I showed the minister. The advertisement says ice cream. The receipt I bought the so-called ice cream, it says 1 Malaysia ice cream. The price label says 1 Malaysia ice cream. So what is it called? In Chinese, there's a proverb. What is it called? The Chinese proverb says, "Kuah yang tomai korok." In Melayu, kalau kita translate, kita gantung kepala kambing, kita jual daging anjing. That's not a very good Malay proverb, is it? It's a very good Chinese proverb, It's exactly it. You say you sell ice cream, you sell substandard product to the people, you say it's cheap. So they are using the money to cheat the people. It is not just the ice cream and the oyster flavor. They are fresh milk. Fresh milk. Buy 1 free 1. Buy fresh milk free E. coli. Cheapest in the market. I buy good the milk, good day. 10 ringgit 49 cents, that is on offer in Hamburg. I know my milk. 1 liter. 1 Malaysia milk, 9 ringgit 49 cents only, cheaper by more than 10%. Wow, so cheap. Sent for testing. E. coli found. E. coli found. A big press conference. You know what Amir Maidin said in the press conference? Tony Paul probably openly and dirty it before sending to the lab. You know where E. coli come from? It comes from your large intestines. You know what's inside your large intestines? Let's use a polite term, feces. Feces! So he's telling you that Tony Paul used shit on the milk before sending for testing. Or either that, Tony Paul didn't wash his hands before he used the milk and sending for testing. For 2 weeks he was singing, Tony Paul lying, Tony Paul talking rubbish. No, we tested, everything is fine. Finally, Minister of Health announced. Confirmed. We went to the farm, we found E. coli in the milk. But did you know? For those who don't read Chinese papers, did you know? You didn't know. Because you have never reported in the Star. You have never reported in NST. Who before this got Tony Paul is a liar. They never retracted that statement, by the way. The minister also called me a liar. Utusan Malaysia never even published a single word on the entire incident. And who goes to these shops to buy? It is the poor Malays. They go there and buy, and they don't publish in the Malay papers. They are cheating their own people. They are the real traitors to the Malay race. So, you can tell, this type of scheme, 40 million ringgit, You go into the shop, I don't know what type of products you get. Who do they get? They open a shop in Bandar Tun Plaza, big store. They open it where? They open it right next to another shop. They gave Mylene 40 million ringgit to open a shop to bring to them your mom and pop sundry outlets out there. Who benefits? Who benefits? I'll say it outright. None other than Amir Mylene, who owns Kedai Rakyat Satu Malaysia. Free publicity from all the ministers. 40 million of subsidy from the government. All the profits, every single cent of it goes into Mylene's pockets. And this is Dasar Satu Malaysia. This is their policy where they say they are of the interest to the people, the men on the street. Malaysians don't need 40 million to be given to sundry shops. Malaysians just need a fairer government who do not support cronyism, who do not support patronage, who will not give full concession to all their cronies, who will not cut expensive prices for water, they will not cut expensive prices for electricity, for cars, and everything else that we need in our lives. This government is corrupt to the core, this government will suck you dry, and this government needs to be changed. Am I right? We need to change! Can we change that? I think you have suffered enough for the night listening to speeches after speeches. I have a lot more stories to tell. I'm sure I have more opportunities to tell all of you in future dramas to come very soon. Some say May, some say June. And we hope we will once again create a new political tsunami, create a new political framework, a new political climate, bring the tsunami to the entire country, not just in Selangor and Penang, and build a new Malaysia for all our children, all our future, and all for the sake of Malaysians as one. Thank you.